Hey guys, you came in quick today. Hi. We are live on Periscope and YouTube. Welcome to A Moment in Time with Taylor. Thanks for tuning in live or on the replay. Please click the link in the profile, nextjuice.com/support. Thanks a lot, Brad, for the first Super Hearts of the broadcast. Thanks a lot to all of these amazing souls who find value from this channel and therefore support us at that link. Can't thank you enough to everyone who makes this channel possible. Even if you can only send $5, it's hugely helpful. It goes a really long way and it helps us to keep this channel going and growing together. First comment to the broadcast on Periscope was Sir Matthew Gold. Mark, thank you for the super hearts as well. Hi, Cher. Hi. Hi, Rhodey. Thanks for retweeting and inviting your followers, Michael. Alvin says, Apple, yes, lots of money. Well, it's a little tricky because they don't have Steve Jobs anymore. And last time that happened, it didn't go well for them. Wow, your voice? Wait, what do you mean, wow, my voice? Does it sound weird? Do I have the right microphone hooked up? It seems okay. It looks okay. Does my voice sound weirdly clear or something? So let's get into it. I have already went through, so maybe I should grab these books, actually. Let me go grab them real quick. Real quick. Okay, so there's this like dream team investing father-daughter duo that I have read 2 books from. Thank you, Mark. Investing in NextJuice would be a good investment. Unfortunately, we're not selling any shares of NextJuice. I appreciate that. If you do support the channel, we do have perks for people who support the channel, but it's not like you're going to get money back, so it's not necessarily an investment. You could consider it kind of a donation, but it's also not yet set up as a not-for-profit organization. I'm looking into potentially setting up some type of not-for-profit organization or foundation in the future, but right now we are considered a for-profit business, so I don't want anyone to think they're going to get a financial return on their investment, but hopefully they're going to get an educational, valuable, connective, positive return on their investment. So, but thank you for saying that. Hey, Scott and Lobo, welcome to Periscope. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, thank you. It's a good investment if you want to keep a doctor away. Okay, I said the company, not the fruit, the pool. How are you, Pasquale? Hey, Hassan. All right, so this is the first one I read. It's called Invested by Danielle Town, who's the daughter of Phil Town, who wrote Rule Number 1 Investing. So I actually read her book first, and I think that's the easiest way to do it. So if you guys want to grab screenshots of this, just let me know, and I'll hold them up again. So hers is a little bit simpler to read. It's written from someone who hasn't been doing it as long, so it's easier to digest, in my opinion. But she was mentored and trained by her father and the concepts. So then when you go and read his book, which is a little bit more complex, in a little bit maybe higher level, it's a lot of the same information, so it helps you to solidify the content. Hey, Craig. How are you? So I'm not a financial advisor, and the Town family is where I'm going to get most of these ideas that I talk about investing. And I'm not recommending that you follow these things. If you want to read their books and make your own choices, I encourage you to do that. But again, I can't legally give financial advice, but what I can do is share with you the process that I go through when deciding if I'm going to invest in a company, which I learned how to do from these people here. Now, the only company I've ever invested in so far is Twitter, and I've made quite a hefty return on that investment. Not hefty, but percentage-wise hefty. I only invested $500 in it, but it's gone up. Let's check what it's at right now. Twitter. So I'll pull it up for you guys so you can see it. So here's Twitter, and I bought this at $18 at the end of 2017. So we're almost at the end of 2019. So, I mean, that is it's more than 2 times. Let me see, pull out the calculator here. I think it was like 1806 or something like that. 2.5 times return in 2 years. Now, that is not from lessons that I learned in this book. I invested in Twitter because it's a company I believe in, and I got some advice from someone a while ago that told me to invest in a company that I use every single day. I live stream on Periscope, which is owned by Twitter, every single day. So I was like, okay, easy. So I did. Jinho says Apple shares pay dividends as well as rise over time. So dividends are irrelevant in terms of this investing style. A company that pays dividends is not superior or inferior to any other company. Try not to get caught up in short-term gains. So it's not about getting paid today. It's about getting paid in the future. And if a company, this is as far as I understand it, and someone please tell me if I have this information wrong, because again, I'm not a financial advisor and I've just started learning about these things in really, I invested in Twitter about a year before I read the book by Danielle and didn't know anything about it. So really only about a year that I've been studying this, and I don't study it full time. This is something I do when I think of it. So bear with me if I'm saying anything wrong. But from what I understand, once a company starts paying dividends, they have to continue paying dividends forever. And if they don't, if they take dividends away, it could negatively impact their stock, basically saying that we're not doing so well anymore. And then people are going to get panicky, they're going to sell it off, and that's not what they want to happen. So something like Twitter does not pay dividends, but that doesn't mean that it's positive or negative. It just kind of means that what dividends are is that you get paid a certain amount on your dividends each year if you are a shareholder, which means you own a piece of the company. Dividends are, of course, reinvested into shares, just as I reinvest into Next Shoes. I should really start reading life books more often. I think so too, Cher. The earlier you start investing, Cher, sorry to put you on the spot here, but I think you're 21? The earlier you start investing, the more powerful it would be. I'm reading a book right now called Financial Freedom by Grant Sabatier. And he's basically talking about how you can retire at age 30 if you invest properly. So, and I don't know how, I think he talks about stocks in here. I'm only about 70 pages in, and he's right now talking about how to determine your number that you need to be financially free. So we're going to do a whole book review and summary on this book in the future. Make sure you subscribe and follow this channel. But for now, I'll just kind of mention that and encourage Cher to invest as soon as possible in something, because the power of compounding is so powerful. So even if you're getting a 5% return every year, think of, let's do $100. You invest $100 today. If you make 5% on that this year, that's 50 cents? $5. Is that $5? 5% on $100. Why am I not being able to figure that out? I just felt like that seemed like too much. So you have $105. Then the following year, if you continue getting 5% returns every year, then it's $5.25. So now you have $110.25. So then you increase that by 5 cents or 5% the following year. Now you're going to get an additional $5.51 plus, what was the number? 110.25. Now you're at $115.76. So every time that number is higher, that 5% is now more powerful. And then when you're 40 years old, that number is going to be quite more substantial. So $100 isn't a lot of money, but it's just to use an example with somewhat easy numbers. My wrist is still a little bit painful. Thank you, Asha, for saying that. You're the first comment on YouTube. Jinho, thank you for the super hearts. I don't know if I said that already. And investing in Apple 20 years ago would have been smart. Yeah. Hey, Craig. So one thing I'll say, the reason that Apple is an interesting one is because Steve Jobs is not a part of it anymore. And when the owner is no longer a part of the company, that can be a red flag. So you really want to look into the management company and see if they seem to be in alignment with what the vision was of the owner and creator of the company, because that happened before where Steve Jobs was removed from the company. Apple started to do much worse. He came back, seemed to revive the company, and he has since passed away. So we want to make sure that we keep that in mind. With a company, if an owner leaves a company, we really want to reassess and reevaluate from a whole different point of view. If the owner is with the company, that's usually a good sign, and that usually means, if their numbers are good, then that's a better sign than an owner that's no longer involved with the company, especially if it was a recent change. It's not illegal for you or anyone to give financial advice. You don't have to be certified. Is that true, Muff? I didn't know that. I thought that it was, so I just want to make sure I'm not opening myself up to any lawsuits here. Jinho, will you be my lawyer? High school or equivalent, advanced search, what are you saying? Rick Rude, compounding, yeah. S&P stocks have grown close to 8% for the last decade. There you go. So you can just invest in the S&P in a mutual fund or an ETF. My friend who does a lot of investing prefers ETFs, so that's what I'm going to be going for, but I don't fully understand that as much as I understand stocks, so we'll go for it. You need Buttcoin? Vipul, thank you for the super hearts. Buttcoin. My family started buying Apple in 1986. It's been a wild 33-year ride. Awesome. I love you guys. Thank you, Jinho. Okay. So what we're going to do right now, so the first step is that we look at the 4 M's of the company. So these are the moats, which I've already looked at. So this is my little sheet right here. It's super basic right now because this is all the work that I've done on the company thus far. I've created a Google Doc. I've named it Apple, and I've written that it has brand, network and switching effects, toll bridge, and secrets moats, which are pretty much all of the moats except the price moat. These things are all explained in the books, so you don't have to understand what I'm saying. The best way is to read the books. I've done reviews and summaries of these books, explained all this, so you might want to watch some of my replays if you're like, what the hell are you talking about right now? But the price moat is the only one I don't think they have, which means they have the best price. Apple is pretty much known for having the priciest products, the opposite of a price moat. Something like McDonald's is going to have a price moat where they have the cheapest prices, and something like Apple is the opposite of that. Android devices are typically less expensive than Apple, so they would get the price moat over an Apple device or PC. So that's why I didn't put that one on there, but everything else I think they have. I have already talked about why I think that is, so again, I'm not going to get into that too much now. The next M, so we looked at the moats. The next M we're going to look at is management, and I haven't done that at all yet. So Sammy said Apple isn't worthy of an investment right now. People make their money by hitting on companies that are essentially unknown. It's a higher risk, right? So higher risk is going to give you higher reward. I'm a buy and hold investor, so I'm not looking to make money like this year and next year. But even still, Twitter's a pretty well-known company. I invested in it 2 years ago, and I've made 2.5 times return on that investment. So your choice. You invest in what you want to invest in, for sure. Why would you say that Apple is a bad investment, though? I'm curious about that. I don't know what you're saying, Bigger. They have good cash reserves. We'll carry them through if recession strikes. Okay, so we'll look at the numbers when we get there. That's the 4th M, which is margin of safety, which means you want to have a margin of safety when you invest, which means you want to basically get it for half off. We're gonna do valuations together. We're not gonna be able to get to that in this broadcast because we only have about 45 minutes left in this broadcast. We might be able to start touching on numbers, but for the most part, we're going to be researching the management right now. It's a tedious, grueling kind of work, but you don't just you don't just invest in a company based on numbers. You have to look at the company itself. Another one of the M's is the mission. You want to see if you agree with the mission. The meaning. Does this company have meaning to you, and is it within your circle of competence? Is it something that you can understand? What does this company do? How do they do it? Why do they do it? Can you comprehend these things? The last company we researched together was Microsoft. For me, it's very challenging for me to fully understand the things that Microsoft does because I am not a computer science major, I am not a programmer, and some of that stuff's a bit over my head. I think a lot of it is interesting, but it's potentially outside of my circle of competence. So with rule number 1 investing that Phil Town and Danielle Town teach, and what they got the rule number 1 concept from Warren Buffett, and what they do is they try to mimic the way that Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger invest, the leaders basically of Berkshire Hathaway, which are some of the most successful investors of our time, probably of all time. Hello, Kay. So I wouldn't necessarily invest in that company by itself. Apple's probably going to be a similar way for me. But the reason I'm personally researching these companies is because I'm going to start putting my first money into a Roth IRA this year. I'm 28. The earlier I do it, the better. Share, listen up. The earlier we do this, the better, because of the power of compounding. And because I don't necessarily, now hopefully in this research process, I find a company that I really like, and I might even choose that company to put this money into, because the beauty of a Roth IRA is I can move the money around between companies as I want to. So if I think it has a good price and it's a good buy now, I can change that in the future, and I can pull it out of that company and move it into something else in the future as I want to, and hopefully get greater gains than I'm going to get from something like a mutual fund or an ETF. Right now I'm looking at some Vanguard ETFs to start the investment because I need to put it into something when I open the Roth IRA so that it'll actually return something on it. So I'm going to be putting it in an ETF. Microsoft and Apple are their top holdings in all the ETFs, pretty much all the ETFs that I'm looking at. So I'm researching them individually to determine which ETF I want to choose from the Vanguard ETFs, and also for me to kind of look at these companies individually and decide if I think any of them are a good buy. Twitter for me is like my baby, it's my favorite, but I definitely find it to be overpriced right now. It may continue to go up and up and up, and it'll be great because I do have a little bit of it, and I wish that I had put more into it, but I'm not going to buy it when it's not the right price. So that margin of safety, which we'll get to with the numbers, means that we pay 50 cents for a dollar worth of value. So we want to pay half of what we think it's worth. We'll do a valuation, see what we think it's worth, and then we're going to try to pay half of that price. And we're not going to pull the trigger until we're paying half of that. We don't have to worry about money no more, and I said that's good. Forrest Gump said Lieutenant Dan invested in some kind of fruit company. That's funny. ETF are 10-year investments, right? Buy and hold strategy is what we're talking about right now. And with a Roth IRA, it's going to be much longer than a 10-year investment for me. I did that with comic books in the 80s. Okay, cool. Roth IRA is the best strategy for you. Apple and Microsoft will make great Vanguard companies, right? Hey, Kieran, there's one of my friends who helps me with a lot of this stuff. So the Roth IRA concept came from this book here, Rule Number 1 Investing. He said, in terms of retirement accounts, if you are self-employed as I am, and you don't have the option of a 401k, then a Roth IRA is a pretty cool option because there are no taxes taken out at the end when you cash it out on your gains. So cool. Let's get to it. Apple's executives. Oh, that is not the Apple executives. Where are they? They're over here. Okay. So here are our people. Now, the first thing I noticed just overlooking this, in comparison to Microsoft's executives, who I studied last, before that, like I said, it was the last company that I studied. Now, I can't see pictures of these people, so these people may not fit into this mold, but let me see if any of you guys can guess. Do any of you guys see something that most of these people have in common? Some of you guys might see it, some of you may not. Old. Okay, that's a good one. Age. Yeah, I didn't even pick up on that. Definitely they're a bit older. This guy looks pretty young, I think. Smiles. All white. Jinho. Ding, 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 ding. You win the grand prize, which is me telling you were right. Okay, so that's what I noticed. Now, actually, let me do this as an experiment, as an example for you guys. I'm going to pull up the Microsoft executives. Because, so this company is actually considered, it's in the ESG sector, which means it meets certain criteria for diversity. And I felt like there was just more diversity with the Microsoft team, and maybe that's just, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I know my apples. Apples to apples, right? So here's their team. Still definitely mostly white, for sure. I don't think they have the board of directors on here, but that's okay. So I guess I see 3 people who are not white. I guess Apple, let's see. Oops, just open up my calculator instead of this. Most are bald. That could be an age thing, right? So I see one there, and then these are, additional people? 2. She's Asian. And then I can't really see the board of directors. So I guess 2, first 3, but there's more people here on this list for, actually maybe not. I don't know, maybe it's not a big difference. To me, these people all just look like white dudes to me. Maybe there's more males as well. Let's see, female. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go to Microsoft. 1, 2, 3. There's actually less females in the Microsoft leadership. So this is interesting. I just think it's interesting because I'm like, they meet certain criteria for diversity. I assume that's in their, employed force, like their workforce. But I just think it's interesting how many of these people are white. So, anyway. That's an all-star lineup at the top. Apple. Well, maybe you can tell me a little bit about these people. Because what I usually do is I will see what they have written here about themselves first. He was COO. He used to work for Compaq, Intelligent Electronics, so definitely, and then IBM, definitely a lot of experience in this industry. He was his right-hand man. Oh, that's very good. Very good information. Thank you for telling me that. So if anyone understood what Steve Jobs wanted from the company, it's probably going to be this guy. That's pretty awesome. We have her. So what we're doing, we're just looking at the management. And that's the thing. So it is a process. You have to do some research. And I forget the exact number of hours that he says it takes. But each new company you're considering investing in, I believe he says it takes somewhere from like 4 to 6 hours, or maybe he said 4 to 10 hours of research and background research before you are ever going to pull the trigger on it. So just keep in mind, this is a 1-hour broadcast. We're only just scratching the surface. He's a good accountant. Okay. More importantly, not a product guy. Wait for a pullback to closer to 200 or less. Well, we're going to price it out, ZenVeg, so I appreciate that. We can see if your numbers align with ours, but I don't think we're going to get to pricing here now. But I like to see if the people in management are in alignment with my values and my mission in life as well. Wasn't Adams from Oracle? Steve Jobs was the ultimate product guy. Yeah, that's not a great thing then, because we're going to need someone to fill those shoes. Pretty big shoes to fill. So this girl's a lawyer. She worked for Honeywell. Honeywell, was that company that had all the... Honeywell, that sounds familiar. I feel like there was a lot of people, unless I'm thinking of the wrong thing, in Microsoft that were from Honeywell. A lot of them seemed like they probably knew each other from Honeywell. And I thought there was a bunch of scandals with them, but I could be wrong. I could be thinking of the wrong company here. Thermostats, interesting. Ham? No, not Ham. Maybe it wasn't them. I don't think it was. It must have been some other company. So in Honeywell in December 2011, they were criticized for spending $18.3 million on lobbying and not paying any taxes, instead getting $34 million in tax rebates, despite making a profit of $4.9 billion, laying off almost 1,000 workers, and increasing executive pay by 15% in 2010 for top 5 executives. Okay. It's not a scandal. Yeah, I don't want to waste too much time here. I'm trying to see if I can remember which of these guys. I think it was board of directors for Microsoft. That's not as important. We already studied Microsoft, so we're not going to get into that. Okay. So this is the kind of stuff we want to be learning about. So what am I getting money for? This channel. Sandra Day O'Connor, wow. Okay. Honey baked ham. Okay, senior VP. Wow, he's been with the company since 1989. He created the iTunes store. That's amazing. And the App Store. Wow. Okay, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, that is very impressive. Kieran says he's a rock star. This potentially, now I'm not sure if this is because he created iTunes or if this means that he's philanthropic, but this is probably not a bad thing, It says his work has fundamentally impacted music, film, and entertainment industry. This is just grazing the surface here. We're not going to just take what they have listed here on Apple at face value, but we're getting an overview here. Pretty much nothing about this guy. We're going to need to dig a little deeper on him. I'm feeling pretty blessed because I feel like Kieran's already done some of this research for us a little bit. Software engineer. Okay, yeah, that's what it looked like. He was basically the tech guy with the master's in computer science. Okay. AI strategy. That's going to be pretty key in the future for sure. Nothing on this guy. Well, nothing like really interesting. I mean, it didn't tell me much. It just told me that he's like working on stuff. It did tell me that he left the company and came back 10 years ago. Machine learning. He spent 8 years at Google. He joined Apple in 2018, so he's actually a newbie there, but he was at Google for 8 years before that, which is probably pretty good. That's some good intel he brought with him, I'm sure. Okay, do you guys see MetaWeb Technologies? I thought this said MeetWeb. MeetWeb Technology. This guy is considered? Okay, this is... Oh, no, the other guy, the guy before. Okay, interesting. Wow, really? Okay. MeetWeb. General Magic. I'm not familiar with that company. He graduated from Scotland. Okay. That probably gives him a peg in the diversity board, too. Yeah, I counted him. He was one of the 3 or 4 that I counted. He was the number 1 that was counted. Where are we? Jonathan. Design officer. Wow, this guy's got a lot on his hands here in terms of making everything look nice and feel nice. Wow, he even designs the stores, architectural projects. That is, wow. 1996 is when he joined. That's impressive. That gives you a pretty good feel for a company. If someone's staying with you for that long, I mean, we've had one person from 1996, one person from 1989. This guy's leaving? He's leaving? Oh no. 5,000 patents. That's what we were talking about when I was talking about the secrets moat. So they have lots of patents, which makes them have a lot of good secrets. He's so young. Like, how old was he in 1996? Maybe the picture is old. He's a living legend. He left or is leaving the company, started his own business, and is keeping Apple as a client. Wow. Oh, that is not good. We do not like that. That is something that we do not want to find out when we're doing this research. And when we Google, I'm basically just going to Google all these people. I'm sure Apple loves that I'm Googling everyone, but anyway. That is something that'll come up for sure in the Google News results. He'll remain a contractor with Apple. Yeah, like a consultant. Yeah, but his main focus is going to be his baby. So that means they're going to need to fill some more big shoes. So now they're trying to fill the product guy's shoes of Steve Jobs and the design guy's shoes of John Ive. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Sorry. I've been trying not to say too many of the names out loud because I don't want to pronounce them wrong. Lots of design awards. Oh, do they call him Johnny? Joni? Eve? Check out Joni's all diamond wedding ring. Oh my god, you guys, stop. Wow. Honorary doctorates. That's actually, I've learned that in some of these executives, they hold honorary doctorates, which I had never heard of before this, doing research on this stuff. He will still work with them, and job shoes have been filled long ago. According to Kieran, there's not really a big product guy on the team right now. Is that what you were saying, Kieran, or is there someone else you think? Because Tim Cook is apparently, according to Kieran, who I trust very much, is not really a product designer or product visionary. Wow, this guy is impressive as heck. All right. Craig is a product guy. Okay, so there's someone there. All right, okay. Environmental initiatives, interesting, okay. Probably another reason they end up in the ESG category. Johnny Ive, okay. Craig is mainly software kind of guy, not design of products. Not design. Right, right. No, I don't think he means design. I think he means product ideas, like a product visionary. Yeah. That's tough. It's tough when they don't have their main visionary around anywhere. So this guy's been around since 1995. But that also, so these guys have been here for a long time. It also could indicate that a lot of changes are coming to the future. In terms of a retirement investment, this is an interesting one, you know? Because I'm 28, so, I mean, my retirement, I can't even touch it for about 40 years. Who knows what's going to happen over the next 40 years. RPI, hey, that's New York. Apple promotes egotistical alphas from within. Interesting. This is why Apple criticized for struggling to innovate, lacks vision. Luca? While Microsoft headhunts team players. I did notice that too. That's a good point, Jinho. When I was looking at the Microsoft team, it seemed like they had pulled a lot of people from other companies. So they get a lot of intel from the other companies, like Google. You know, it's like one of their board of directors used to be like the CFO of Google or something like that. You know, these people have a lot of insight into competitors, or not, you know, competitors and just other mega giants in the industry. And that can be good for innovation too, if that's really what we're looking for here too, you know? Interesting. So it seems like they haven't updated this page. Product vision, I should say overly dependent on iPhone. Biggest exposure with Apple is the dependence on iPhone driving most of the profit. Corporate culture is crucial for a 40-year investment horizon. Right. This is the money guy. He's at Xerox, Nokia, Siemens, General Motors. Not a great track record, sorry, man. I don't know that any of these companies are doing amazingly at this point. But that's not on him. As long as he manages the money, I guess the other stuff is up to other people. Tuesday should be an interesting day for Apple stock. Interesting, good or bad? Wait, is this the person? No, Deidre, okay. This girl's pretty much has a similar mission to what we do in terms of connection. "30-year Apple veteran." New products being announced. Ah, interesting. Okay, yeah, we're definitely not, personally not going to be able to invest before. Wait, who are you talking about? Angela? I don't see anyone named Angela. So they don't need to update the page. I think you were just saying that. Whoa, too high. Where are we? We're here. Dan. Apple's diversified into health wearables, electric motoring, user experience, and home integration. Smart homes. But yeah, I'm personally not going to be able to invest by Tuesday. I don't know if I finished that sentence or not. I don't know who Angela is, but she's not on this list, so we don't have to research her. Never did this. It's about earnings charts, market sentiment. That you can do it how you want, Zen. That's fine. She was head of Burberry and joined Apple as head of retail, and I think she left not too long ago. I think that this is important. What I'm doing, okay, let me bring my face back. So I'm following the strategy of Phil Town and Danielle Town. You certainly don't need to agree with it. That's fine. If you want to just base it on numbers, that's fine. They strongly advise against that, especially for people who aren't professional investors like myself and the majority of my audience. We're not going to spend 8 hours a day tracking numbers all day. And we are going to run the numbers once we decide that we actually want to own this company, because we're not going to own something for 10 minutes that we don't want to own for 10 years. And we're not going to buy a piece of a company that we wouldn't want to own the entirety of. So that's the reasoning behind this. Okay? This is the iPad guy. 1998. Wow. Yeah, you're right, Jinho. Compaq. Another guy from Compaq. Okay, so this is the guy who says another rock star, Kieran. I think so too, but you certainly don't have to. You know what I mean? That's fine. I'm just explaining why I'm doing it so you don't think it's just like random. 1997, but it seems like he left before that and came back. He created Mac, iPod, and iTunes. I thought someone else got credit for that. iPhone. Wait, what is his? He does marketing. Just says he's helped the company do the things that they've done. Okay, Jinho. You could use months of gains. That's okay. I'm doing a 40-year investment here, so I'm gonna, you know, might lose a few months here, but I'm definitely gonna be invested in the one I'm gonna choose by December. So I risk up to 3 months of loss, but over the 40 years, I think it'll wash out pretty good. Unless you think something massive is gonna happen in the next 3 months, in which case, yeah, I missed out on it. But you don't have to. You can go buy what you want. Nice, Riley. When did you buy it? Color ads. Oh, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah. This guy's pretty popular, huh? It's also nice to kind of see how the other half lives, you know? After I do this, after I read what's on this page, I'm going to go follow them all on Twitter. Because I'm not opposed to, like, being friends with any of them. Because I'm sure they want to be friends with me. "20 years at Apple." Wow. Oh yeah, well, I already knew that, didn't I? And look, he has a bachelor's degree. 2 years? Wow, Riley, that's impressive. Johnny. The crickets are trolling me right now. The A4, I'm not familiar with that. Intel and IBM. Oh, he's from Israel. Probably another notch in the diversity board. Jeff Williams. This guy's important. The Apple Watch. Wow, that's crazy, Jinho. This guy? Yeah. I like his gap. It's endearing. Okay, sorry. I feel like that definitely just pissed off ZenVeg. PayPal's done great since it split from eBay. Interesting. Okay. I don't know if PayPal is one of the companies that Vanguard has invested in any of the ETFs that I'm looking at, but if they are, we'll be researching them too. Medical research. 1998. Wow. I mean, he was at IBM for 13 years before that. Okay, and then I don't know why these people are like separated down here. But we're gonna check them out anyway, because these people make a sick amount of money. (2003) broadcast journalist at CNBC. Wow. And now he's a PR guy for Apple. I feel like that's a big step up. Another guy with a bachelor's degree, political science. Wow, okay, that's a whole different ballgame than what we've been looking at. Yes, vice president, correct. Environment, policy, and social initiatives. She basically keeps them on the ESG list. Uh-huh. Oh, she used to work for the EPA, appointed by Barack Obama. Ah, okay. Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to yell at you guys. Hey, New Jersey, that's where I live. Masters of Chemical Engineering, that's pretty impressive. You get them, Lisa. Oh, she manages their China department? They have a China department? Greater China? This is amazing. This is so fascinating. Yeah, if I do end up owning it. We gotta finish this part first. 2008. Wow, her job must be such a pain because China is like... It's a struggle. You know, we have a broadcaster actually. The girl who went live before me tonight, Irina, if you scroll back and look at, she's doing art. She's in China right now. And you'll see that she did 2 takes. Almost every single week when she goes live, she has to do at least 1, or at least 2 or 3 videos because the VPN is just like not reliable because there's so many people there all trying to access it at the same time. So she also tries to go live as early in the morning as possible. So for us, it's 9 p.m. Friday or Saturday nights that she goes live, which is 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning in China. How many languages does she speak? Are you talking about Irina or Isabel? All Apple products are manufactured in the People's Republic. Really? Wow. Mac Pro is assembled in California. The Great Firewall. Yeah, Mac, her job must be not very fun, in my opinion. Bachelor and Masters of Electrical Engineering. And an MBA. These people are a beast. I do not know how many languages she speaks, it doesn't say. This guy has a name like a superhero. Tor. 2016. I don't know what gray is. Oh, I bet. I said that twice, but that's because I really mean it. Apples, my people. Oh, he did some TED Talks. That's interesting. We could check those out. Wow, lots of awards. That's cool. He used to be a journalist. Wow, and documentary filmmaker. Okay. And again, bachelor's degree. This is all very fascinating. Adrian. You're an interesting looking dude. Mergers and acquisitions. Woo. That's a lot. Joined in 2009. He worked at Goldman Sachs. Wow. And he was in the Army. Wow. This guy's different too. He holds a bachelor's degree from the military academy at West Point. Did you really, Jinho? I would believe that you would do that. Prior to trade war, Apple tried to grow in China as USA market getting saturated. Right, yeah. MIT. I don't know why this Arthur guy is not clickable, but we read about some of these already, I think. Wait, was that Al Gore? Wait a minute, before I read this one. Is that, like... This is Al Gore? What? Al Gore is on the board of directors of Apples? Of Apple, I mean Apple's crap. What? You can't tell me that's not interesting, Zimbitch. Wow. Wow. He's on lots of boards. I haven't seen him on any of the boards I've looked at so far, but I've only researched like maybe 4 companies so far. Can you guys hear me scratching myself? Okay. JP Morgan, Dow, CDW. What's CDW? Bachelor's degree in accounting. This guy's so rich now. Okay, sorry. It's like, these are random, these links that they're bringing me to. CEO of Disney? What? These people are so connected. Whoa, wait, I didn't want to learn about all of Disney. Hang on, back. Who was it, Robert? It was Robert, yeah. This guy looks like he's made out of plastic. Why is it a picture of him? I don't want to see just a picture of him, although he does. Oh, wait, down here? Is this claymation? Oh, they're like, in the spirit of Disney, let's put all of our faces like claymation. ESPN Plus? Disney Plus streaming service? Oh, he's in charge of ESPN? What? No, I don't. That's not insulting. If you look fake, that's like, that means that you look pretty much perfect and you're probably not real. You're probably a robot. I'm not saying he looks ugly. Robert, don't be mad when you watch this replay, which I know you're going to watch because you're one of my biggest fans. Can I call you Bobby? Okay, let me stop. I'm gonna get banned. Okay, once you're like, that's not funny. So he's been on Disney since 1996. Impressive. Who knows Disney? What? Hi, Felicia. Andrea. Grameen? Never heard of that. She used to be CEO of Avon. These people are so fascinating. Invested more than $870 million in women's small businesses. Okay, yeah, definitely gonna need to be friends with her real quick. Oh, who live in poverty. Okay, just kidding. Just kidding. I mean, I would like to be friends with her. I was initially implying that she was gonna invest in our company, but Korean American. She is impressive. Yeah, looks like it. Who's hooked up with Disney? The guy that we were just talking about. What do you mean? Robert, was it Igman? I don't remember his last name. Bobby. The longest serving female chief executive in the Fortune 500. Holy crap. Okay, I know that I'm going to do this at the end, but I'm going to do this now. The largest women-focused corporate philanthropy around the world. From Avon? Okay, you're impressive. Can we please be friends? Let me put my face back on here. This is, like, mind-blowing. Oh, sorry, is anyone commenting on YouTube? Oh, sorry. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Boxing. Hi, Lou. I'm sorry, guys. Because I'm using my computer and looking at the screen, I'm not seeing comments from YouTube. I'm gonna go find her on Twitter right now. She takes priority. I love how her username is Andrea Young 9 because it's like, okay, can we talk about how this woman has 3,000 Twitter followers? And she's tweeted 300 times. $3,000 Twitter followers. We have 2,660. She's Chinese Canadian? What? Sorry, Boxing. I love you, man. Wow. Okay. Back to her. That is fancy. And I feel like if I message her on Twitter, she'll read it, because she probably doesn't get a lot of messages on Twitter because she only got 3,000 followers. All right. I gotta keep doing my job here, huh? Okay, we have 9 minutes left. Quick, we have 2 more people to look at. Ronald Sugar? That's a great name. Philanthropist. Executive programs. I've never heard of that before. An executive program? Here. Hey, Natalie. How are you? Grumman. Yeah. I saw that in there. I don't know what any of that means. I'm sorry. What's BlackRock? That sounds familiar. Hey, why are you not open? Sorry, I'm being impatient. Go ahead. Take your time. We only have 8 minutes left, but sure, we'll just wait for you. There we go. India. Pretty much all the people that get hired onto the board just say like the exact same thing. I've always admired Apple for its innovative products and dynamic leadership team, and I'm honored to be joining their board. For like $1 million bajillion. Okay. Why are they talking about Bill? Isn't this supposed to be about her? Okay. Hi, Lou. Sorry, I don't mean to ignore you over there on YouTube. The crickets are relaxing. They are relaxing. So, Apple's too big to fail at this stage in its life. Yeah, probably. So what do you guys think of all that? We have 6 minutes left. You know you want to tweet her. I know, but I don't know what to say. Just like, you're really awesome and impressive. I would not agree with that, sorry. I don't know. Yeah, 40 years is a long time. Now, here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing. The whole reason I'm doing these research, I already talked about it. I'm going to invest in an ETF, which owns portions of all these different companies. Now, the Vanguard is in charge of managing that. So they're going to make moves with that ETF on their own. Like, they're not, if Apple's like going to fail horribly, hopefully they're going to be like, oh, we don't want to own that anymore, and switch around. Hi, Hot Pockets. Join us. Oh, it's a little creepy. So this is something, and I don't want to be in an ETF for the next 40 years. It's something that I want to use to get into the Roth IRA as soon as possible, and then chances are I will move the money from the ETF to a company or a few companies. The rule with the type of investing from the books I referred to throughout this broadcast is you're not ever really going to be invested in more than 10 companies at a time. So when I find my dream team, I'll move into those companies and move around as they become, as their management changes, as things change, as their companies change. So this is not, even though it's a 40-year retirement, like I'm gonna, this is something I can't touch for 40 years, it's something that I'm not planning on having it in one thing for the full 40 years. So your 10 will be your vanguard. My vanguard? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. But I do know that I love you guys. And I love you guys that make this whole thing possible. And if you found any value in this, if you thought there was anything interesting about any of the things you just learned about Apple right now, and you want to support me for sharing that information with the world, please do click the link in the description, nextjuice.com/support, and join all these amazing, amazing, amazing souls and help us to keep this channel going and growing together. Thank you to everyone who sent super hearts. Jinho, thank you Mark, thank you Vapul, thank you Brad. We got 1,000 super hearts in this broadcast. Should invest in weed and Hot Pockets. Sounds kind of delicious right now. Kieran, thank you for the buttery super hearts. Apple has a $225 billion cushion in cash in case things unravel. Right. Your 10 companies will be your shield. Oh, the Vanguard. Okay, yeah, I get you. Thank you, Rody. You too. Take care. What do I think of Uber or Lyft as investments? Probably not enough data to know for sure what their future is going to be like. So I have not researched those companies at this point. I remember putting in my calendar a long time ago, check Uber once it has its IPO. And then by the time it had its IPO, I no longer found it to be a very impressive company because like their navigation system is a fail, in my opinion, and it's like their entire company is based around that, so they have to get that fixed. If they can fix that, maybe they've been working on it, I don't know, they'll have a much better chance of survival into the future. It's a really cool business idea. I read the book about how they started up, The Upstarts it's called. It's about Uber and Airbnb. Airbnb I'm not very impressed with, but Uber I am, but it's changed a bit since they changed their navigation technology and software. So good morning, Bruce. I want to invest in Next Juice Bourbon. We're gonna have to make it first. Hey YouTube. Hey chicken. Too volatile. Right, maybe. I have a set of streaming broadcasters. Please contact me. What? Here's my investment summary on Apple. It might pop after their product announcement on the 10th. Yeah, but the stock is high. Buy on the dips. Yes, I have to buy something before the end of the year so that I can get the effect of compounding going eventually. So, but again, it's for long term, so we'll see what I decide to do as we continue researching. Thanks for doing this with me. Our next company, the next part of this, sorry. The next part of this is we will, I'll probably keep looking at the management team on my own, following them on Twitter and like checking them out in the news and stuff, since I know that's not the most interesting part of all of this. And then I'm going to switch to the numbers. So then we're going to run the numbers. We're going to figure out what we think would be a good price for this company, and then we'll move on to the next company from there. Okay? Thank you, Jinho. No charge. No charge. Love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night or morning. You asked what to say as an introduction. Oh, to the lady. Oh, yeah. Maybe, yeah, I probably could. That's a good idea. I like that, Mark. Thank you. And I hope to see you guys on the next juice. This has been a moment in time with Taylor and all y'all. Oh, YouTube boxing, sleep well. See you on the next juice. Is that how you meant to say it when you typed it like that? You know, yes. Apple would probably be a good investment because the cost of them is like $2,000 per phone. That's one way to look at it, but we're gonna dig a little deeper than that. So, love y'all. See you tomorrow. I'm live every single day, 3 hours a day on Periscope. Last chance to follow me. You own ACB? What is ACB? Direct message me because I'm about to go. There it is.